Hi everyone, happy Sunday, happy Mother's Day for all of you wonderful women out there on the planet and everyone else who's watching. I hope you're doing something awesome with your families. I am sitting outside of my mother's house in Columbus, Ohio, and yeah, I don't know if you can see the beautiful houses on the street. She lives in Old Town East, and like it's a really cool neighborhood. It's like kind of starting to be gentrified, and she got this beautiful, huge house, and it's always fun to come visit. But yeah, I wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit. Hi, Eric, how are you? Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, so I wanted to come on here and talk. I just got finished making two berry pies that I decided on a whim that I wanted to make for Mother's Day, and I was having a conversation with my mom about how I was just gonna wing making the pies, and so it started this conversation that my mom was telling me that, like, of all the kids that she has, and we have some like pretty original thinkers in the family, that my siblings talk about how I always have these like unique ideas that sort of allow myself to try new things that other people are like, how's that gonna work out, Alexa? How's that gonna work out for you this time? And actually, I'm gonna come closer to the house here. Hopefully you guys can still see, but it got me thinking about how I give myself permission to get messy. And that's been, that's actually one of my superpowers, like creativity, but even more than that, like authenticity and allowing myself the permission to play and to perhaps even make a fool out of myself, right? So for those of you who know me and who hang out with me, like, I'm a gigantic goofball. I make jokes all the time. I do impressions of people. I really, like, I probably put my foot in my mouth half the time with what I'll just, I'll just say exactly what I'm thinking. And it kind of just comes from this place of like, if I was to censor myself and to try and be perfect, like, I would never do anything. And so, I think a lot of us out there, if you're out there and you're waiting to try something new out and give yourself permission to fall down and to make a fool out of yourself, or, speak what's true to you and try something new. I mean, I've changed careers so many times. Like, I've had so many different types of jobs in the past. I once picked blueberries. I was like 17 years old, but I picked blueberries for the summer, and I've got multiple degrees in completely different related fields. I've just tried things out. Like, I've moved cross country several times. I lived in Los Angeles. I lived in Columbus, Ohio. I live now in Philadelphia, and like, I just allowed myself to not be perfect and to reinvent and to kind of follow my bliss, although not all of it was fun. I mean, truly, some of allowing myself to be messy is like experiencing that chaos and lack of disorganization sometimes is like not actually how I want to be operating, right? And so right now I'm in one of these transitional periods where I am growing my plate. So I work with Next Level Trainings in Philadelphia. I'm part owner there, and we've got these amazing transformational trainings that we lead. I'm not one of the main trainers, but we're putting them on for hundreds of people every month or two, and that's like a full-time thing in and of itself. But I decided that I wanted to get our work out there to a bigger community and really move some of what we're doing online and building more of a presence online. So, when I think about this upcoming week and what I'm in the creation phase, right, which is like super messy. The creation phase is always super messy, and I think if I was to be stopped by like needing things to be perfect and needing to have answers to things before I began, like I would never take a risk. I would never actually start creating. And what I'm experiencing now is like, even if I don't know exactly what I'm doing, if I'm in action and I'm allowing myself to take risks and seeing what works and what lands and what doesn't land, what falls flat, get feedback from other people, and just be authentic that things are going to change. Like, I'm going to be building something. I am working towards something, right? So I don't know exactly what the structure looks like at this moment. I know that I'm reaching out. I'm creating, and I'm list building, and I'm creating content. And for instance, like last Monday, I went and I interviewed this awesome guy in Philadelphia for Kismet Co-working, and he's this entrepreneur who's just up to great things, and he's all about giving back to the community. And I bought new equipment for the interview and brought my iPhone, but it was the first time that I was actually using it extensively, and I cleared out as much content from my phone as I could, and I still ended up about halfway through the interview like not having enough room on my phone to record. So, my bad. Like, Happy Mother's Day. I wasn't able to finish the interview, right? So I'm saying this because it was an opportunity for me to get started on something, though, right? And there was no harm, no foul. Like, we're gonna go back for part 2 of the interview. But if I hadn't gotten that started and into motion, like, I wouldn't have built the relationship with the guy, and I wouldn't have had the sense of accomplishment of like, hey, you know what, it didn't totally go according to plan, but like I started something into motion, and I have the experience now. Like, okay, I get to be a little bit more prepared next time. So yeah, so if there's anything that you have that you're wanting to try out, which Eric, I know you give yourself permission to try new things, and so you are somebody who consistently inspires me with the projects and the kind of visionary ideas that you're taking on and making waves towards. But if you're out there and you're not giving yourself permission to dream, and you're not giving yourself permission to just try things on and see how they feel and be authentic and trust that it's all going to work out for the best because you're following your vision, then hi Brian, how are you? There's another man who is just all about creating new pathways and following your bliss. And good to see you, Brian. I know I'm kind of following suit. I'm like starting this like live thing that I know you're kind of a master of. But Brian Schneider has an awesome live show once a week. So I don't actually know. Is it still Tuesdays? Comment in the section below and post your latest and greatest link there. But anyhow, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Give yourself permission to be you. You only live once, and nobody else is going to be able to do you as well as you can. So don't rip the world off, and be original. All right, that's my message for today. Love you guys.